Hello! I'm so excited you guys decided to rejoin me again on this second video where we're going to talk a little bit more about the base program and stuff. I'm super proud of you guys for wanting to watch these, and it means a lot to me knowing that you're committed to your own growth and that you're going to continue to walk the path to get better and to have a great life as we move forward, of course. So I remember shortly after I had my stroke, my work life was so much different. I remember going into these meetings. After I had my stroke, there was probably 3-4 months where I was, completely out of the game. And then I started going back to work occasionally. We always had these Friday meetings, the owners did, and we would sit down and talk about, our company and how we're going to grow it forward. There were 4 of us that were owners. One was a production manager, and then we had a customer service manager, of course. Then we had a finance manager, and then I was the sales manager of the company. And so we'd have these meetings, and every Friday they'd last, it could last 3 to 5 hours every Friday, and we'd go around the table and, let each person talk about what it was that they were contributing and what was going on and in that department. And a lot of times we'd really get into it and argue, and you think about it now, it was kind of fun, really, because we were all very engaged in whatever department that we, had control of, and we wanted to succeed, right? And so we all had our times, believe me. But anyway, as we'd go around the table talking, it would end up coming around to me. And after my stroke, I would sit there and I couldn't find the words that I wanted to say. I'd think about something that I wanted to contribute and that was important to the growth of our company, and the next thing you know, I would have tears rolling down my eyes. And even thinking about it now makes me very emotional, because it was a tough time. It was a tough time to go through. And I felt embarrassed. I felt not worthy. I didn't have any confidence at all. And it was shortly after that time when I started, like I mentioned before in the previous video, I started creating the base program because I could not find anybody out there who could help me get through that. Who could I go to that would actually help me grow my confidence back so that I could go to these meetings and I could contribute and feel worthy. And even there's times, and I'll bet this is true for a lot of you, that since we went through the stroke, and you get out in the world, and whether it's work life or whether it's just being out amongst your friends or going to a party, a dinner party, whatever it might be, we look at ourselves so much more. We're focused on ourselves. It's like we can't say anything that we feel is a confidence builder. And we're always inwardly looking, and we don't give ourselves a chance to get that confidence back a lot of times. And people probably aren't even noticing, but we notice. And that's a huge, important factor in this, is I notice what's going on with me, right? And so it was at that point that I decided it was time to create that base program. BASE, as you guys all know, stands for belief, attitude, strength, and energy. We'll go more into that, but it's through all these challenges that I decided to create that program. And so after some time of looking around, not finding what we were I was after, I came to create the BASE program. And again, it's belief. It's about building your self-importance. Attitude, which is taking control of your own behaviors, right? Strength is inner powers. It's not just about muscle and learning how to walk and all that again, although some of that is in this program. But it's more about your inner powers and how do you grow that strength back. And then energy is the transition period when you start really noticing it, and then we'll go more into that down the road. So I just want to share a little bit more about that. So in the belief module, we're going to go through these stepping stones. Now we created these stepping stones that are at the end of each of these, are in each chapter of things. Let me grab one of the books and show you. This is my my BASE workbook that comes along with the program as well. And on this page that you guys are on, there's going to be a little worksheet that I'm sure you probably already have and you've downloaded it, so that you can work on some things at the end of this. But in here, I wanted to share something with you real quick. So there's the stepping stones are in here, okay? And one of those stepping stones is from values to valued, okay? And so I'm just going to read a little bit of this. So removing barriers in your path is so important, but it becomes a wasted effort if you don't know which way to go or why you're going. As one stroke rehabilitation expert put it, blindly moving forward will make you go backwards. The final and most important step in belief is to establish clear goals that are rooted in meaningful values and purpose. These goals will carry you through the rest of the program and your recovery. So, and then we go through some steps on how to go through this, and you write down your values and you go through a workbook. Now, some of these in the workbook itself, some of those processes can take you, 10, 15 minutes. They're not that long. Others might take you an hour or longer to work through, maybe even longer. Depends on how much effort you put into some of them and how deep that can be for you. So, but there's differences in them. They're not, every one of them isn't long. So some of us don't believe in writing down our goals. I get that. And there is that in there. Writing down your goals makes a huge impact, you guys. I remember writing down goals, and I have them in my journals, and I write in a journal almost every day, just to keep my mind straight and to think about what I've done in the past and how the day went previously, what I'm going to focus on in today, what I'm going to do. And it just really helps me to write things down and to get them out of my brain. Some of you might struggle with writing, but you can also record things. There's a way to get around that if you really want, and you can get your goals in front of you and stuff. But anyway, through having those goals, it's killer. It's really cool to look back, because I have accomplished so many more things because I had those written in my journal. So I had goals written, 10 years ago in my journal, even 15 years ago. And over the next few years, those things came into fruition. Now, it doesn't always happen on the time frame that you say, next month I'm going to have $1 million or something like that, right? It doesn't always happen that way, but it will move you toward that goal. And I believe in this wholeheartedly, and I think that you should be doing that as well. So It doesn't always have to be about money either. It can be about different things that you want to accomplish in your life, whether that's, like I said, walking or talking again. You know, maybe it's physically. Maybe it's a physical thing that you're trying to get through or whatever. But the one thing that is important is it has to be real. It has to be real for you. It has to be your goal. Don't just do what everybody else says. I have some examples in the books that you can look at, but make it your own. Okay, it's really important that you make it yours, and then you can work towards it, because if it's not yours, you're not going to work toward it, right? So that's really it for today. I just wanted to ask you guys to go ahead and share this if you can with as many folks as you can that you feel like they could learn from it. Hit the like button. That would help me out and help others out if they get this and they can learn from it too. So anyway, having said all that, I want you to go get your worksheets done, and I plan on seeing you on the next video. Thank you so much, and remember to be growing your strength after stroke.